New Pokémon Snap was a game I never thought I'd buy into in 2021. Having never played the original game some 20 years ago, I fully plan to skip it, even though I do love Pokemon. I bought it at the last minute and was surprised at how much I got into this fantastical animal paparazzi simulator. As you can see, New Pokemon Snap is definitely in the higher tier of visuals on the Switch. The world and the Pokemon within it are well realized and a joy to see. Each area is colorful and charming in a variety of ways. Whether it's a simple forest trail, an underwater adventure, or a trek through a volcano. Also, the titular pocket monsters themselves are animated beautifully and come alive in an amount of detail we've not seen in these games before. No matter which area I chose to play a round of picture taking in, it was filled to the brim with a charming environment and a variety of pocket monsters. I can't stress enough how enjoyable it was to see Pokemon being, well, Pokemon. Also, the density of things in the environment was impressive too. Everywhere you look, there are additional elements such as grass, flowers, ruins, little nooks and crannies to accent the stages. The music was decent as well too, but it never stood out much after I got in the zone of taking pictures. Most areas in the game feature appropriate tracks to set the tone for the area you're riding through. Even if I wasn't humming them at work the next day or anything, they were appropriate. The same can be said for the voice acting as well. There are a handful of voice scenes, but none of them really blew me away. And on the opposite side, none of them stood out as bad either. In terms of the story, the game plays it pretty loose here. Similar to other entries in the franchise, we're tasked with helping a professor research Pokemon in their region. This time though, we don't adventure and battle our way through the region. Instead, we're documenting the Pokemon through pictures in their natural environment. It has a few interesting points in it, but it never gets much more complicated than that. Honestly, I'm fully okay with a simple story for a simple game. If it got into some of the more nonsensical stuff that the rest of the series has at times, it would have been kind of off-putting. There are a small variety of characters that show up as well, but they serve more as talking points to queue up new gameplay regions, requests, or gadgets. No one is in a position of annoyance either, thankfully, as they relegate themselves off-screen unless the situation calls for their appearance, which tend to be pretty brief. Most importantly is the gameplay. In short, it's one of the simplest yet most enjoyable games I've played recently. The goal is simply to take pictures of the Pokemon and nothing more. But of course it has a few quirks to make things interesting. Players select a zone and will proceed on rails to its endpoint. As the player moves along the path, you can move the camera around you to take pictures of the various Pokemon and other things that you see around you. Once you reach the end of the path, your photos are evaluated for points and are added to your experience points for that level. Once you level up in a certain area, you can do the same zone again at a different level. Different experience levels do several things, such as change the various actions of the Pokemon in that area, their layouts, and even completely new ones making an appearance. It really makes a compelling reason to go back into an area multiple times. Not just to get better pictures, but also to get to the next level to see more unique things. The picture evaluation is done with a variety of categories. The basic goal is to get a good picture of the Pokemon, usually meaning a centered, full-body shot. Of course, it isn't that simple for most of the monsters running around. Extra points are awarded for things like unique actions, amount of other Pokemon in the picture, and so on. The better the score, the more experience you receive. There are also 4 different star ratings for each Pokemon. This means that each Pokemon has 4 different required photo types to be considered complete, and simply snapping one of each won't completely fill the photo decks, as it's called. For example, a full body shot of Pikachu is 1 star. Eating a fruit is 2. Using electricity is 3. And 4 would be a completely unique action that is triggered by certain requirements. Once again, it really is a compelling reason to revisit stages multiple times, not just to grind experience, but to also fill in that photo album. To trigger the various differences depends on the Pokemon and the area, but the player is given a small variety of tools to do so. The fruit returns from the original game and acts similarly. Throwing a fruit at most monsters will cause them to wander over to it. You can even use it to hit some of them to get a reaction. Some new actions are things like the scan. Scanning highlights points of interest around you, which is helpful to see hidden Pokemon or interactables in the stage. It can also affect the Pokemon in some cases, like making them alert to your presence and turn towards you, or some other action. Then there's the song. By playing a small tune, certain Pokemon will react to it, by dancing, smiling, or some other action. And lastly, there are the Illumina orbs. These are thrown to light up a Pokemon, or by throwing it at certain objects to light up an area. Doing this can make certain Pokemon stand out more in a picture, or cause unique actions once again. All of this was needed to see the litany of Pokemon and their unique actions in the game. It was a really interesting way to push for replayability, as well as more picture-taking opportunities. Seeing Scorbunny 10 times is fine when it's got 10 different actions to take pictures of. Lastly, a main feature of the gameplay are the Illumina areas. These are a big touted feature in the game. Once certain requirements are met, a new area will unlock in certain zones. These feature a single mysterious Pokemon roaming around, but the catch is that it's a special version. The player gets a set course like always to take pictures of this special beast. They are quite neat, and like other areas have a few secrets to experience by doing them multiple times. But I would dare say that most of them are overshadowed by the awesome normal zones. There are a few interesting elements though to some of them. I will say that without spoiling anything. The game really is a relaxing joy to play. I found myself doing one more, as I kept trying to get a few better pictures or get a good snap of that Pokemon I just noticed. Outside the main gameplay, there are a handful of other neat things that you can do. Players are able to edit the pictures they take with a variety of filters and stickers to make them cool, cute, or funny. There seems to be quite a few of these to unlock as well. The majority of these come from standard gameplay, but some come from requests as well. The requests can be simple things such as a yawning Torterra, and more complicated ones without spoiling anything. If you have an online account as well, you can upload your pictures for others to see as well. And you can look at their pictures too. It's nothing riveting, but it is a good reason to participate in the requests and online features if you have an active account. Though, if you don't, I wouldn't recommend one for such basic features.
Alright, on to the next site. Now then.
I never thought I would be into new Pokémon Snap, but here I am, finding myself falling in love with this game. It was really refreshing and charming right from the start. With a campaign that's well over 12 hours, and lots to do, and dozens of things to see, it'll keep completionists busy for quite a while. It's vibrant, bright, and charming. For those who simply enjoy Pokemon being Pokemon, this game is right up your alley. If you're more a purist who wants the classic RPG grind, then maybe this is an obvious pass. For me, I thought I was in that second category, but I really found I loved my time with this game in spite of that. If you're like me, and maybe just needed a break from more hardcore gaming, I can completely recommend new Pokémon Snap without a doubt. As always, thanks for watching and leave a like and a follow if you enjoyed the video. Of course, leave a comment and tell a friend. It really helps spread the word about my channel. Thank you very much.
Oh my! 2 Volcarona! A pair of Illumina Pokemon? Incredible! They flew off down that tunnel. Follow them.